Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces. All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler Rose. This is the best damn sports show on YouTube. Listen, we got a couple things to go over for today's video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe and of course hit the bell so you can get notified when I drop another banger. Guys, we have Ryan Clark today and Kendrick Perkins. We got a few clips from them to go over. I feel like they're taking some big shots at Lebron. The whole ring culture statement, I got a lot to say about it. So y'all don't want to miss what I got to say about that. But without further ado, we're going to run the clips and we're going to get into today's video. Let's do it.
LeBron James doesn't have a problem with ring culture. He has a problem with more rings culture. Because LeBron has curated his career around ring culture. Because if he didn't, LeBron James never goes to South Beach. He went to South Beach because he understood that as individually dominant as he was nothing without those rings. And what's funny also, too, about LeBron is the fact that he's talking about the accumulation of something when that's the exact argument that all of his fans, all of the people that say he is the greatest, use. His accumulation of points over a certain amount of time, accumulation of assists, accumulation of rebounds. The reason he's pointing out the more rings culture is because he hasn't accumulated more rings than the person that he's chasing. And so if I can get out and debunk the fact that it's about how many rings you get as long as you have one, or if I can get out and debunk the fact that we're not having a conversation about how much you elevated your team in the most important moment, just about how good you were, right? Because when you bring up Barry Bonds, it's like, let's not think about whether or not he won a championship. Let's say he was the greatest ever. Like he brought up Dan Marino. Yeah, we know Dan Marino could spin it, but Dan Marino never lifted his team to a championship. So we speak about him differently than we talk about Tom Brady.
All right, y'all. So y'all seen it there, man. Listen, I got a lot to say. And when it comes to this ring culture stuff, bro, ring culture is always going to be prevalent in sports. We play the game to win. We don't play the game for any other reason but to be at that mountaintop at the end of the season. Now, nobody said Charles Barkley, AI, Steve Nash, Karl Malone, Melo, them dudes like that. No one says them dudes ain't nice. Yo, AI is my favorite. AI is the reason I played ball. Growing up, it was AI, it was Kobe and Melo. Those are the reasons I played ball. AI is the reason. I had the cornrows. I had the sleeve. I used to cut tights and put it on my arm. The reason why is because these dudes was killer. They're influential. That these dudes is MVPs. Charles Barkley MVP, AI MVP. But guess what? The reason we don't put Allen Iverson with Steph Curry is because he don't got them rings. That's why. Because at the biggest stage in the world, we seen AI drop 48 points in game 1 against the Lakers in 0-1. But guess what? He couldn't reach that mountaintop to get him over that hump to be a champion. When you're a multiple champion, multi-time champion, it increases your legacy. We look at you different. We look at dudes differently because we know that those lights were shining bright and those moments when you got yourself there, you know, you made it. And here's the thing, man. The whole McGrady stuff, the whole rings and stuff, like all this stuff is opening the doors. I'm starting to think that Mind the Game podcast was just created for him to create narratives, for LeBron just to create narratives for himself. And I'm not trying to be a LeBron hater, but I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Look like you just up there just trying to say things. I know it was a question from the fan, but it just looks like you're trying to change the narrative around things. And I quite frankly don't like it. And they're like, yeah, like if you got drafted to a team, like T-Mac was saying, oh, I got drafted to a team and we weren't great, so that's not fair or whatever, bro. It's like, okay, if my pops was rich, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I wouldn't be working a 9 to 5, right? Like we all can say what ifs, but dog, that you got to take the cards you were dealt and take it and deal with it. Because I know for a fact, back in 07 when Kobe requested a trade and he was about to be traded over to Chicago, he's like, yo, if y'all don't give me help, I want out. Force the hand of the franchise. But those are the people who want to win, and by all means necessary. You know, you gotta win, bro. Like I said, Marino, certain them dudes, they ain't in the same breath as Brady. As much as I love a guy like Melo and AI, I know they ain't on the level of this dude. Or this dude right here. No, why? Because levels to it. They win. They won. And to the point about the rings thing, I think LeBron knows at this point, listen, I ain't getting no more rings. I went to Miami. I went back to Cleveland. I made them trade the first pick for Kevin Love. I went to LA. I made them trade for Anthony Davis. We gutted the young roster. We got dudes like Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle and Lonzo Ball and Jordan Clarkson, all them young boys that developed to be great players, or decent players, I should say, not great, in other franchises. We gutted that just for the sake of you getting a chip, and you got the bubble chip. I ain't gonna take away the bubble chip, but it's like you do realize when you went to Miami, for that reason, you went there to win rings. Like LeBron knows he went to win rings. Like, who you fooling? Because you ain't fooling me. You know you went there to do one thing only, and that's because you wanted to win championships. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to win championships. But don't try to act like you don't understand ring culture. You understand ring culture. That's why you left. But I digress. Let's get into the next video. We got Big Perk on his podcast. I think this is an interesting video as well.
Should it take away from your greatness, right? If you're all-time great? No. But it definitely enhance your greatness, okay? It definitely enhance your greatness. Because listen to this. No one remembers all-stars, okay? No one remembers all NBAs. No one remembers all defensive teams. No one remember none of that shit. People remember champions. If I ask you who was the champion in 2004, I know I can think of it right off the top of my head, the Detroit Pistons. Ask me who was the champion in 2000, 1999, 2001, Kobe and Shaq, right? The list goes on. 2008, damn it was me, right? People remember champions. Champions are with you for the rest of your life once you're a champion. Wherever you go, people are going to remember you not for the all-star games that you made, but for the championships that you won. So let's not start moving the goalposts and lowering the standard and acting like, nah, championship matters. And when you talk about being in those conversations as far as the GOATs and all-time greats, no, they won. They won rings at a high level. The mindset, the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality was championship or bust. Championship or bust. No in between. Right? Cole never talked about how many all-star games he made. No, Cole talked about championships. Jordan talked about championships. That's what matters. Does it take away from your greatness again? No, it don't. But it definitely adds.
I can't disagree with it. I'm just saying, does it take away from your greatness? No. Does it enhance it? Hell yeah, it enhances it. I mean, a lot of players could have played longer, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think Kobe and Jordan, they realized, like, yo, if I can't win, I ain't trying to play. Like, I'm playing to win the game. I don't want to have accolades of scoring and all this other stuff, or time, minutes, and assists, all that stuff. It looks good, and people like to use it to defend or to debate things as to how great you are. But I don't understand that, because for most of my life, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was always number one in points, but we never called him the greatest of all time for that reason. You know what I'm saying? We know that Kareem got the same amount of rings as Michael. You know what I mean? We know Kareem got 6 MVPs, 6 rings, all-time leading scorer, but we never put him over Jordan. So the reason why is because the other meaningless stats like All-Stars and All-NBA, they're cool. They show that you're a good player, but ultimately the biggest standard we're going to test you as a basketball player is if you reach that mountaintop and how many times you reach that mountaintop. Because we know that's the hardest thing to do in sports, is to win a championship. Look at the NBA now. Look at the landscape. Past 7 championships have all been different teams. That has never happened in the modern day era. So we're starting to see some parity in the league, but we also got to respect how hard it is to earn these trophies. Like, these teams are going to the finals and they're not coming back. Denver won in 2023. They ain't not been back. Milwaukee won in 2021. They ain't not been back. Steph Curry and them boys won in 2022. They have not been back. They ain't been to the conference finals since. So we go to see how hard it is to win rings. So when you go chase and you go get super teams, when you try to, like, you know, change narratives around it and act like they don't mean something, but basically you play with a top 5 player in the league, pretty much, or top 10 player in the league. Every time you win a championship, you got at least 1 or 2 top 10 guys on your team. We know where you're going and traveling, so it's like the ring culture, man. You know what ring culture means, man. That's the reason why we love Jordan. He didn't lose in the biggest games. He didn't lose. Not one time. So what are we gonna do? Take that away from him? No. It enhances his legacy. When you win, you get respect. And the respect comes from peers, fans, media, and all that nonsense. But if you can try to change the narrative, which it seems like he is, then maybe things do change. I personally don't like it. I agree with Ryan Clark. I agree with Kendrick Perkins. These are my thoughts. If you're new to the channel, hit that bell so you can get notified when I make another video. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.